So if you guys don't mind, Mama's going to video this, and we're going to actually turn this into a video while we're doing it. Okay?
That sounds fun.
All right. So we're going to talk about lunging today. It's one of the things that a lot of people that come through here who have some experience with horses, they vastly misunderstand the purpose and the reason behind lunging and how it should be approached. Okay, this is Ransom. Ransom is my son's horse in Idaho. He's deployed overseas right now, so we took him for the summer, and he has really calmed down since he came. We've just been working with him calmly. Ben hadn't had him for very long, and he hadn't had much done with him, and but he's a pretty good prospect for us to do this today. All right. Now, lunging, for those that don't know, is basically getting the horse to go around you in a circle. All right. Now, some people do it free, so they're in a smaller round pen and the horse is not haltered or anything. But usually it's done with a halter, and then people will use either a super long lunge line or whatever. The idea, my approach to lunging, lunging is never a physical activity. All right. What do I mean by that? Most people that I know that use lunging because they have a horse that's too hot. The horse has too much energy, and so they want to take the physical edge energy off of the horse. That, in my experience, in my opinion, does not work, and that's not proper. Okay. Now, a lot of your stabled horses, they're hot because they're overfed and underworked, and a lot of that could be fixed with just their diet. Okay. But the other thing is it's not their body. Outside of diet, too much energy, too much protein, too much time in the stall. Outside of that, it's not their body, it's their mind. And you can run them until they're tired, but if you don't have their mind, you've wasted all your time. Okay? So my approach, if I'm going to lunge a horse, there's a couple of things that I keep in mind in my approach to this. First off, the reason for lunging is to move the feet, and the reason to move the feet is to get the horse's mind. You've got to understand that the horse's instinct is to run away for survival. And so for the horse, whoever controls the feet controls the life of the horse. So when a horse comes in and they're all jacked up and they're all up in the air, there's a big survival mode going on there a lot of times. And they think, if I control my feet, if I control the speed in which I move my feet, if I control the direction in which I move my feet, then I am in control of my life. And they're not going to hand that to you willingly. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the feet so the horse knows, hey, your life is in my hands. All right? And you can trust me. All right? The second thing we're going to do, we're going to move the horse's feet, but we're going to do it with purpose. And the purpose is to teach them light signals and to follow signals. Okay? And the third thing we're going to do is we're going to do it quietly and calmly. Because when you go to get your horse and you bring them into the arena or into the round pen, they don't know what you want. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know what your plan is. They don't know what the energy level of what's going on. They don't know. And so when you bring a horse in that's already energetic and he's already jacked up, and you get him trotting and loping around you in circles, you've set the tone. You said, this is what we're doing. Every time I go to work you, it's high energy. And then you wonder why when you saddle the horse and you get on, they're high energy. It's because from the very beginning, we bring them out here and we set the energy level. We set the tone at high energy. Okay? Now, he's gotten really calm lately. He's going to do well. So he's not going to show us, I don't think. He's going to show us that high energy stuff, but we can still get the idea. All right? So now I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to come back from his shoulder. Now this horse is going to come in closer because he gets comfort from that, all right? So I'm going to move easy, and I'm going to come back from his shoulder. If I'm too far back this way, I'm moving his butt away. If I'm too far forward, I'm going to block his personal space bubble, and he's going to stop, and he's not going to move, all right? So I'm going to just come back easy from his shoulder. He's turning his head. I'm just going to kind of say, hey, that's not what I want. Now I'm going to give him some direction out this way. I haven't lunged him very much. All right. Now I'm just going to give him, he's turned around where the camera can't see, so let's come on around. Come on around. See how light and easy I'm moving? We're setting the tone here. Now, so I'm going to give him some direction, then I'm going to give him some energy. Right here at the shoulder. There's direction. Now as soon as he moved his feet forward, I stopped. Okay? As soon as he moved his feet forward, I stopped providing that energy to his shoulder. This translates to the saddle. If you don't have this on the ground, you're not going to have it in the saddle. So what I'm saying is, hey son, I just want you to be calm. I want you to listen to my quiet, gentle signal. And then if you'll step out at my signal, I'll quit asking. So everything, all of my communication to him is a whisper. If you never whisper to your horse will never listen to your whisper. All right, when you come out and put them on the lead rope and start lunging them around and got them trotting, you got them cantering, you got them blowing hard, you got them lathering. Whoop. So what you're doing is you're yelling at them. And they never hear a whisper, so they don't recognize a whisper, so they will never respond to a whisper. And I want him to respond to my whispers. Okay? Now let's go again. Signal, you see there, he stepped off with just me giving some direction, and so I didn't even pick up the tail of the lead rope. No, keep going. So that was the communication right there. He's saying, Dwayne, I don't see his ears are back. He's like, I don't really want to do this. So when he came around there and brought his nose into me, he's like, that's the stop signal. So he's asking me, can I stop? And I'm just quietly saying, no, just I'll whisper you to keep going, and you just keep going. And when you do that, there's no drama, there's no muss, there's no fuss. Everything's nice and easy. All right? Now when he falters, I just give just a tiniest bit of energy. So when we're out on the trail, he knows in advance that what he's going to get is a light whispering signal and light whispering energy. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to step back, I'm going to bring his nose in, and I'm going to give him a signal to the other direction. You see how calm he is, how he's just walking? He's faltering, he's coming in close. His ears are back. He's saying, I don't really want to do this. And I'm saying, I'm not going to berate you. I'm not going to whip you. I'm not going to yell at you. But I am going to quietly, confidently, respectfully, but authoritatively tell you, no, you have to do. Go on. Go on. You have to do what I'm asking you to do. We're not going to come out here when I go to work you. We're not going to come out here and run. We're not going to come out here and trot. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you to put the saddle on you. I'm not going to fight you to stand still and put your head down while I put the bit in your mouth. You're not going to swing your butt around sideways when I try to get in the saddle. You and I, our partnership is just quiet and easy. I give light signals, and you follow that light signal. Ooh. Now, did you notice how loose that lunge line was? Now, this is hard for you to picture because you didn't see this guy when he came here. All right? He was a totally different horse. I've been working on this. Like I've started a new chapter in the book I'm working on this very subject. There's nothing wrong with your horse. People say my horse has a trailer loading problem. My horse has a lunging, running problem. My horse has a problem being saddled. Your horse has no problems. So we have to get away from this mindset. I have to fix this problem in my horse. Your horse does not have a problem. Your horse is naturally 100% a reactionary animal. They react, okay? They're prey animals. Their instinct says your entire focus, your entire life is on survival. So whatever they're doing in reaction to their instinct to stay alive, their past experiences, positive and negative, and what the rider is, whether intentionally or not, what their handler is telling them to do. So there's no problem. So if I come in here with the viewpoint and the attitude, I'm fixing a problem that my horse has, I'm already coming in wrong. All right, I'm already viewing it wrong. My horse doesn't have a problem. When he came here, he was not pleasant to ride. He was not calm to handle, but the horse did not have a problem. All right, there were a lot of things he had not been taught, so he was reacting and listening to his instinct. All right, and so instead of fixing a problem, what we have to view it as and what we have to approach it as, my horse is hitting on all cylinders. He's reacting. So I have a problem. My problem is I have to give him something else to react to. I have to set his reaction up so his reaction is positive for both he and I. So if I come in here and his head's up and he's running around, he's like this, the horse doesn't have a problem. He's reacting. All right? I have a problem. I have to be calm enough, and I have to be smart enough, and I have to be humble enough to figure out how can I give him something else to react to. And you stay consistent and you stay calm, and the horse figures out what's in his best interest. And he has figured out that coming out here calmly and just walking around, standing calmly and being saddled, that's in his best interest. So that. This ain't a young, hot-bred performance show horse that some big name horse trainer has worked and done all this magic with and then made a video of. This is the kind of horse that common people like us are going to get, that we're going to run into. All right? He's not a young horse. He's not an old horse, but he's not a young horse. So he's not just starting out. So he's got baggage that your average Pepto-Bismol Mall 2-year-old raised in a barn and in the arena, he's got baggage that horse isn't going to have. But we're just working around it. Just a signal. Just a signal. Light and calm. Your horse is a mirror of you. And like a man that's a whole lot more experienced and a lot smarter than I am said, when we don't like our horse, we don't like the reflection of us that we're seeing in that mirror. All right? It's not the horse. The horse doesn't have a problem. So we were talking about lunging. All right, you said on your place, they put them in the round pen and run them around to take the edge off. The physical edge, that's not all physical. All right? I mean, I said the physical edge. But that energy level on those high energy horses, it's not all physical. A lot of it is mental and instinct. And when we're just running them and pushing them and running them, we're not addressing that. We're not addressing their spirit. We're not addressing their soul. We're not addressing their mind. We're just addressing the physical. And I say this all the time. I don't want this horse's body. I want his mind, and I want his focus. And if I get his mind and his focus, I've got the body. If I've got his mind, he'll hand me his body. All right. But if I physically, mechanically, forcefully get his body and I don't have his mind, then any chance he gets, he's going to snatch that body away from me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So we want to set the horse up to react to what we want. Now, he did really good today. So we're just going to let it go at that. Anybody got any questions about that? About the lunging, any of it? See how loose that lead rope is? He's just following a signal like we talked about yesterday. We'll give some energy. He didn't follow that, so we'll come around. A little more energy. All right. If you can't do it on the ground, you will not do it in the saddle. If you cannot get a horse light and listening to you to light, simple signals, let's see how big a loop we can keep in there. If you can't do that with a lead rope on the ground, you're not going to get that with reins in the saddle. Because that's the mind. That is not the body, that is his mind listening to me. And he never came out of a walk. Whoa. All right. The secret to horsemanship is knowing when to stop. All right. He gave us what we asked for, so we're going to quit before he gets fried in the mind, before he gets bored, before he says, Dwayne, I did what you asked me to do, but you keep asking me to do it. So after a while, since there's no value, there is no relief in me doing what you ask, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. And they will get to that point. All right? So knowing when to quit is as important as anything you can learn in horsemanship. All right, Tom.
Can we see you do that with a high energy horse?
We can try it, I guess.
What about Chance?
We can try it with Chance.